Amazing. All right. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Julie. Hello, Julie.
Hi.
Um, this is Julie, you guys. Julie is a graduate, former client of the Loyo Method Coaching Program. Super excited to have her here today. She's going to share a little bit about her story and excited just to have this conversation. And guys, if you have any questions, feel free to pop them in comments. And if you're watching on a replay, definitely reach out, and I will tag Julie in here too. So definitely feel free to pop questions or comments in the post. We are here to celebrate. We are here to spread well-being and wellness, and so let's dive in. Julie, tell us a little bit about you so we know who you are.
Okay. Well, I am 47. I have been struggling with my weight for quite a while. Recently, my bigger struggle has been with the mental side of things. Um, I was not speaking kindly to myself. I had the vision of good foods versus bad foods, and felt like everything I tried was not working. Um, so for, oh gosh, I don't know how long, a few months, Jessica's program came through my Facebook feed. Um, so I joined the group. Um, I liked what I saw coaching wise for her. Um, it was also one of those things where, do I want to spend the money on myself? Um, and I know that's a struggle for many of us. But so I kind of stayed in the group for quite a while and observed different things and did some of her like masterclass things she shared. And finally decided it was time for me to spend that money on myself and get in a better place because I have been struggling for so long. Um, so I took that leap and went through the program and very happy that I did so. Um, I have my affirmations that I say every morning, and actually a lot of times throughout the day. Um, there's different techniques that we've worked through that I use throughout the day as well. Um, each night I check in with myself to make sure that I spoke kindly to myself and um, just making sure I'm in a good spot. And I'm in a really good spot mentally now, and that makes me very happy. And my family is very happy with that as well.
Yes, yes. That is amazing. I know do you hear that clicking sound? Is that just me?
No, I don't hear it.
So strange. Okay. I don't know what that is. Something's clicking. All right. No worries. Technology these days. I remember one of the wins that you had said at some point, and you're like, I'm finally happy. You remember that?
I do.
And I got just chills just now. So powerful. Like those are such little words, small words, and they are so incredibly powerful when, we can make shifts from perfectionistic good bad thinking, right? When you said good food, bad food, all or nothing, like shifting how you think about yourself. Do I talk kindly to myself, going from not talking kindly to yourself, beating yourself up, right? I remember you said, beating yourself up when, you would go off track, right? Especially around food. And
Mhm.
I'm sure people can appreciate that. Definitely, guys, like drop in the comments. Do you beat yourself up when you cheat? And I use that word very, quotation wise, like when you cheat on your diet, and punish yourself. And that's so common to have that trend of, self punishment and looking at this from a very, unkind way. Um, Julie, tell us a little bit about yourself in terms of, you're 47. Um, where do you live? Where are you from? Do you have a family?
I live in Nebraska. I have a husband and two kids. One's in college, the other's in high school, and I have two Boston Terrier dogs that love to cuddle and play outside. um, I've been, I'm a sports fan, so I like to attend sporting events. I like to play different sports, which at this age gets a little harder, but still like to try. Um, what else did you ask me? I can't even remember all your questions.
No, that's great. That's great. Just to get a sense of who you are, because, it's hard to make changes to your life, as a mom, right? As a busy
It is.
mom. And it's really hard to justify, this is a very mom generalization among mothers, okay? Very hard to justify investing in ourselves when we tend to put everyone else first. You have a kid, in college. College is not cheap, right? Like
No, it's not.
I'm sure there's expenses through the roof, right? Like, it's hard. So I'm curious, like, and you brought it up, like, do I want to spend money on myself? And this comes up all of the time. What how'd you overcome that fear? Like, what can you describe, like, what was the fear around investing in yourself? And really, how did how'd you overcome that?
Well, the fear for me was I've done so many other programs in the past. Um, and they worked for a little while, whether most of them were like different diet programs or whatever, but lose the weight, worked, you kind of shift back to some of those old habits. And it's like, I just wanted to find something that was going to help me. Um, but then the more I thought about it, I really want to be able to do things with my family. Like when we go on vacation, I want to be able to, like, we like to do more active type vacations. I want to be able to keep up with everybody. And if I didn't do something about that now, I'd miss out on those things with my kids. And I didn't want to do that. So I saved and finally made that leap into the program. And, you know, for me, I didn't say before, but I have Hashimoto's. I've been working with a functional medicine doctor for several years on that to hopefully get that into remission. And one of my biggest struggles is the weight loss. Um, and then the mindset piece of it just, I think, made it that much worse. I'm not necessarily losing a ton of weight currently, but my mindset piece, I am in such a better place that for me, that is the biggest win right now. Um, Getting emotional, sorry. Um, I guess my biggest advice to people is if you want to be there with your kids and family and do those things, invest in yourself. You are worth it.
I love that. You are worth it. You are worth it. You are worth it. Julie, you are worth it. And each and every one of you who might be watching this, you are worth it. You deserve, to have everything that you want to have in your life. And it's a difficult fear to overcome for sure. Why Loyo? What was it about, what stood out from you that was, different, even with those fears of investing in yourself? Why did you join us?
For me, it was the coaching calls and the support. I'd done some other ones in the past where it was more of just in the Facebook community, like messages back and forth. but I loved the aspect of once a week being able to be on a call with other women who had the same issues. And I liked Jessica's style of coaching. Um, that was the biggest reason I chose your program.
What's my style of coaching?
Very direct with people. And I love that because sometimes, people will not, they're just not as direct. And I appreciate that is and pushing and helping us really dig deeper to figure out reasons why we're doing different things.
Awesome. Awesome. I say that with a smile on my face, right? Because, coaching is an intricacy. It is an
It
intricacy
is.
where it is, you know, there's a fine line, right, of coaching in
And
terms of asking a question.
I think too, you're very good about, because there's also the one-on-one coaching, was it once every 4 weeks or something? I think you were able to learn the people you work with and what style works best with each one of us. So there are some people maybe you weren't as direct with, but there was a reason for that. I really appreciated your style with me.
Well, I appreciated you and your coachability, which is so much of this experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
What you said, like I was in, you said you were in a love yourself journey group and you came to like a masterclass and you kind of scoped out the scene and utilized some of the free content and it's there for each and every woman inside of the love yourself journey group for that reason in itself. It is there to help. It is there to, teach and, absorb that information. I try to show up in a big way in this community to give a ton of free value for that very reason. And, there comes a time where like, okay, okay, right. What else? What else, will help me get past that fear of, getting to my goals? Okay, amazing. I want to celebrate you and I want to celebrate your successes, and I know you have a lot of them. So, let's chat successes. Let's chat your wins. What are you proud of? What are your wins? I have notes from numerous conversations we've had. So if you forget any, I will gladly let you know. But tell me, where are you now? All these months later.
Well, I am still, every morning I say my affirmations. I do check in with myself throughout the day. I use the rain technique, which I love that technique. There's one of your classes, I think it was, we talked about things that we can control versus things that we can't control. So when I start getting frustrated with something, I go back to that. It's like, is this something I can control? If so, let's do these things. If not, breathe through it and let it go, because I can't control that. um, when I look in the mirror, when I'm, washing my hands at the sink or whatever, I can actually say to myself, I love you. I will continue to uh, feed you, my body, nutrient dense foods and care for you. I couldn't say that before. Um, I was very focused on food before, like, what am I going to have for this meal? What if this comes up? Am I going to eat that? How much of that can I have? Should I have this? That type of thing. Now, I focus on adding, more nutrient dense foods to my meals and snacks. But if I have something that is less nutrient dense, I take a smaller portion of it and enjoy it. I don't completely go off track and now I'm just eating not so good food anymore. Spending more time with my family. That's a big one because There were times I was so stressed out about food and how I felt about myself that I was not a nice person to be around. And so they didn't want to be around me. And we spend more time together in the evenings when um, we're done eating our meals. So um, I know there's more. I feel like there's more.
Yeah, you said you're seeing changes to your body. I know. So Taya,
Yes.
tell us about your physical changes as well. There's a lot of like emotional, mental, relationship, lifestyle changes. Tell us about your physical.
Yeah, I have I'm down about 5 pounds. But I've also seen some big changes. I don't have my exact measurements, but I can tell in my midsection that have lost inches, and I feel more comfortable in my clothes. Um, and that's a big win too, because it just gives you more confidence.
Yeah, I love it. And I love what you said about being able to look in the mirror and saying, I love you. I actually really recommend anyone who's watching, like try that on for size. Give it a go. See what comes up for you. It's very powerful to be able to do that and to speak kindly like that to yourself and to believe in yourself, right? It's
It is.
it's amazing. And I know you were with us through the holiday season, and I know you were saying like, yeah, you put nutrient dense foods in your body, right? Like we focus on that, and also like eating things that are less clean. But I know that you also weren't worrying about it like you used to.
Hmm. Not worrying about what I'm putting in my body all the time is a big, big win for me. I mean, I still try to eat pretty clean foods and things like that, but if I want to have maybe a miniature piece of candy or something, and the days I'm in the office, there's a lot of food being brought into our office and it sits right out in front of my desk. So I walk by it, I smell it, it's there all the time, but I can take it or leave it now. And before I would have been like, oh, I don't get that all the time, so I'm going to have this. And it's really empowering to be able to do that.
I love it. I love it. And I love that word, empowering. Like it is empowering. The experience is empowering. I think the women inside of our group feel empowered, especially from one another.
Hmm.
Um,
And I think too, it doesn't just go with food, it flows over into every other aspect of your life.
as you said, right? Like focusing on your family, being able to show up without being moody and now in a better place where you're spending more quality time with your family. Isn't that what this is about, right? Isn't that what life is
Hmm.
about? Doing the things that you love, showing up in a way that you deserve to show up for yourself, for others.
Yes,
So awesome.
absolutely.
I mean, it's so amazing. Such great work that you've done on yourself. It has been a pleasure working with you, beside you. And before we wrap up, what would you say? And I know you said some advice. You said I like what you said before when you said my advice to others is that you are worth it. What would if there's anything else that you would say, would you say anything else to other women in your shoes?
I guess for me, part of thinking about, joining the program was, how do I feel now? If I don't make changes, how am I going to feel? Most likely it would have been worse. So I wanted to be in a better place and feel better sooner than later. So that's why I chose to do the program.
Amazing. Awesome, Julie. Well, I appreciate your time. I thank you so much for sharing your story. And I will tag you here. And, if anyone has any questions, comments, wants to celebrate, drop a comment, drop an emoji, message Julie, whatever works for you. We're here to support you and guide you in the right direction. And if you have any questions specifically for Julie's experience, I'm sure she would be more than happy, and I'll speak for you, Julie, but I'm sure
Yes,
she
I
would
would
be more
be.
than happy to answer your questions. And thank you so much for sharing. We'll talk soon. Have a good day,
Thank you.
everybody.